All right, sun's out, guns out. Psych! It's like 23 degrees out here, but I'm about to get this workout in. I'm about to get a 300 times 4 workout in today, and then I got to go to the gym to get the bodybuilding in.
Yeah.
Yo, this your boy LT. So most people who know me know that I run track. In fact, I got one of my track sweatshirts on right now. I'm at the track, as a matter of fact. Let me stop. But I've actually entered a new season of my life, and just want to talk about it real quick. So about, let's see, 6 months ago, I was training for the national championships out in Kentucky, and everything was going great. I felt the best I'd have felt in several years. I was running fast, 400. I was really focused on. I was really going well. I was trying to get my speed down, so I was working on my 100-meter speed, and that was going really well. But I was also working with a friend of mine, and painting houses, and I was working 93, 95 degree days. I wasn't getting my hydration right, but I was still working, trying to help him out and everything, and earn some extra money for this trip to Kentucky. And I ended up going to this track meet one day that I shouldn't have gone to. I went out, ran the 100 meters, felt fine, did pretty well in that race against some college kids, and then I turned around and I wanted to run the 400, and that's where I had a problem. As soon as I came around the turn, I felt the pop in my groin area and my hip flexor, and that was pretty much a wrap. So I was injured, and I was a few days out from leaving for the trip, and I had to make a decision. So I still went, prayed about it, still went. I ran, wrapped up. I actually made it to the 400-meter finals, limping around the track, but I ended up not doing so well. But after I was coming off the track, I remember there was a guy there, and I don't think he actually knew me, but I think he thought he knew me, or maybe he just saw me from before, and he just said, "Yo, what's up, man? Seen you in a while, whatever." And he started telling me that he was like, "You're so big." He was like, "You're bigger than all these other athletes." He was like, "You should think about powerlifting." And he said a week before he had just come from a powerlifting competition, and he said he won, like $5,000 or whatever from that competition. I'm like, whoa, what? So he told me about what he was lifting, and then he told me about the age group and the category I would be in at that present weight, and it wasn't too far off from what I'm already lifting. And if you don't know, for powerlifting, you have the squat, you have the deadlift, and you have the bench press. Not in that order. You actually have the squat first, then you have the bench press, then you have the deadlift. And so I'd been doing all this, in preps. I hadn't been really benching that heavy, but my squat, I was pretty much at like 4 or 5, and this is just for track and field. It wasn't like I was going for some powerlifting stuff. And then the bench press, I think I was, probably doing like 275 at the most. I wasn't really doing a lot, I was kind of just doing it. And the deadlift, maybe was doing like 300. It wasn't that grand, but I knew that I could get heavier because I had just been training for reps, not for like weight. Squat was the only thing that I might do like 2 or 4 or 5 at, and that was it. So I got excited about this, and I'm injured. I knew I needed to get stronger and needed to get back in the weight room even more so. So I was like, man, this is a perfect opportunity. So I got back to Philly, and I started I let myself heal up for a few weeks, and then I started lifting. And the funny thing was, I loved it. I started lifting. I got really excited about it. I was going into the gym. I was like, I'm about to do this thing. I started watching more videos on it, got the technique, so I started really gaining. But maybe the first week that I started doing this, I met a guy. I was sitting in the sauna, and a guy asked me, he was like, "Man, you a bodybuilder?" I was like, "No." And he was like, "You got the body like a bodybuilder." And I was just like, "All right, I appreciate that. I'm not in that type of shape, but all right." And then I found out that he was training this other guy that was actually getting ready to have a competition. He was like maybe 2 weeks out from a competition, so he was in and out of the sauna doing stuff, And I was like, man, that dude's like ripped, I'm saying? I'm not no bodybuilder, I'm not that guy. So I just continued about my business. So I told one of the guys at my church about it, about powerlifting, and he said, be careful, you don't want to lift all that weight. Maybe you should do something a little bit less, blah, 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 because you're 43. But I was like, nah, I'm okay. It is what it is. And then another guy at my gym, he said something about it. He was like, man, why don't you try bodybuilding? I'm like, that's the guy. We talk about lifting heavy all the time. He's bigger than I am, but all of a sudden he's like, why don't you try bodybuilding? And I'm like, that's weird. But he points out a guy that does bodybuilding, and he says, you should talk to this guy. He's a natural bodybuilder. You don't have to take anything, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, I didn't know anything about natural bodybuilding. I thought everybody was taking stuff, And so I still put it on the back burner, kept focused on powerlifting. All of a sudden, I bump into this guy, and I'm like, this is the same guy that was training for the competition. I trained with him a little bit. We started talking and everything, and I'm still at this point where, like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be a bodybuilder, but it's in the back of my mind, because when I first started working out back when I was like 17, 18, going into the Navy, that's all I did was read a lot of bodybuilding competitions, magazines. I was reading a lot of bodybuilding magazines about how to lift and everything like that, and that's how I got started. So it did pique my interest, but I never wanted to be super big because I love running. So, but then when I really started to research it, and even one of the guys that I was watching as a power lifter, he actually transferred over to bodybuilding for a couple of competitions just to do it. And I was like, man, that's very interesting. Maybe when I win a couple of powerlifting competitions or whatever, then that's what I'll do. Lo and behold, about 2 months later, I end up bumping into this guy again. After he did his competitions, he took like a month off. And he did well. I watched his competitions. I'm still in my mind, I'm like, I'll never do that, And I bump into him at the gym, and he said, I'm taking a couple weeks off, and then I'm about to hit it again. He was like, you should do it. And he starts talking to me more and more. He gives me some information about it, and I start looking at it, start praying about it. And I'm like, man, it's not that much of a crossover from where I'm at now. I just have to diet differently. And so I said, what's the chance? I might as well just get into the best shape of my life. The sun is really messing up my light over here. Sorry, guys. But I was like, I might as well get into the best shape of my life, and while I'm doing it. And then I'm the type of person, I love just attempting stuff. I love challenging myself, and this is a big challenge to make sure that my diet is like on point. But I was at the end of one season. I knew my track season wasn't going to start, so I was like, you know what, might as well do it, and then I'll be in a great shape for my outdoor season. And so here I am. Yeah. So I've been training with him. We've been training for about 3 weeks now. And oh my goodness, I've been getting some gains. Now I'm actually starting to get people in the gym that, when they see him, they be like, hey, what's up? Because he's known, as a bodybuilder, and now I'm starting people, they're actually like, folks will be like, hey, you're a bodybuilder too? Like they're actually starting to recognize, what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, something's happening here. It is a challenge. I love the exercise. I love the working out for sure. Not running as much as I would like to is a challenge, because I usually run like 4 to 5 times per week, and now I'm only down to like 1 time per week. So that's a big challenge. Lifting as heavy as I've been lifting, some of the stuff has been good because I've been powerlifting, so I'm right on point with it. But some of the things I haven't worked on, and I'm struggling. Like today's back day, so I know it's going to be a struggle. And I even injured myself a little bit doing some chest stuff, because I've mostly been focusing on legs when I've been running, so and shoulders. So those days have been easy, but it's the back day and the chest day that I struggle with the most. So my event is not going to be until April 1st, so I still have 3 months to go, a little over 3 months to go. But it feels like the closer, when you talk about weeks, it's like 12 weeks to go and everything, man, it's getting tight. My diet's going to get tighter. Everything's going to get tighter. So, I'll keep you posted on how this stuff goes, but that's how it kind of came around. That's how it came to be that, I'm going for, to do my first amateur bodybuilding competition. And, if I win, then I'll get my pro card, and we'll see how things go after that. But if I don't win, I don't know if I'll go and do another competition, if I love it that much, or if I'm just going to focus on track and field, because the Penn Relays will be at the end of April, so I'm going to try to do that as well. So anyway, yeah, that's what it is. So I'll keep you guys updated. All right, peace.